Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today I will be discussing Leetcode 456th problem. It's a medium level problem. The problem name is 132 pattern. First let's read the problem. Given an array of n integers, a 132 pattern is a subsequence of 3 integers nums of y, nums of j and nums of k such that I is less than j, which in turn is less than k, and nums of I is less than nums of k and is less than nums of j. Return true if there is a 132 pattern in nums, otherwise return false. First, let's consider the first example. If we consider I as 1 and j as 2, then we can't find any symbol in the right hand side of 2 which is less than 2, because 3 and 4 they both are greater than 2. So the example 1 returns false. And in example 2, if we see that if we consider I as 1 and j as 4, then we can find a number which is less than 4, which is 2, and it is in the right hand side of 4. So first let's do it from our approach. The approach to do this problem is using stack and an array. We have to maintain a minimum array which is used to store the minimum element of all the indices. So if we consider only this index, so for this index the minimum will be 1, so minimum will be 1. And if we consider for these two indices 1 comma 2, then the minimum of both of them will be 1, so it will be again 1. Now we consider the indices of 1 to 3, the minimum will be 1 from this. And again if we consider the minimum of all the 4, then it is 1. So we have to first made a minimum array of indices, okay, and it is used to maintain the minimum of each indices of the array. And next, first let's copy the example 1 2 3 4, it is here. Okay, fine. Yeah, and then we have to make a stack, and in stack we can see that if the stack is empty, we have to first place our j in the n minus 1 element. And we have to see that if the stack is empty, then we have to simply push the jth element into the stack. So jth element will be pushed into the stack, and j will be incremented. No other condition will be checked if the stack is empty. So j will be incremented, and j will now point to third. So we have to check condition whether the stack dot top is greater than minimum of j, and minimum of j we can see that it's 1, and the stack dot top is 4, and we have the condition that stack dot top should be greater than minimum of j. Yes, the condition here is true. Next condition we have to check is that whether the stack dot top is less than nums of j, but we can see that nums of j is 3 and the stack dot top is 4, so stack dot top is not less than 3, so 3 will be pushed, so the j pointer will be incremented and no other changes will be made. Now it comes to 2. Let's see, we have to first check whether the condition whether the stack is empty. No, the stack is not empty and 4 is there in the stack. And we have to check whether the 4 is greater than minimum of j, and minimum of j here is minimum of j here is 1, and it is less than 4, so the first condition is true. And next condition is that we have to check whether the stack dot top is less than nums of j, but the nums of j is 2, which is less than stack dot top, so the condition is fail. So now we go to the next index of the array. If we go to the next index of the array, we can see that the stack is not empty and the stack contains the fourth element. So stack dot top is 4 and the minimum of j here is 1, and we can see that the stack dot top is greater than minimum of j. The condition here is true. Now we check the second condition, which is the stack dot top should be less than j, means nums of j, but here nums of j is 1, which is less than stack dot top, so our j will be decremented and the condition of for loop will be false, so it will come out of the for loop and it will at last return false. So the answer for this question is false. Now let's consider the second example. First I should clear the board so that it will be very much clear of the next approach that we will make. if we consider this example 3142 nums. So let's consider this example. As I have said that first we will maintain a nums minimum of the indices array. So first I should copy the nums array 3 1 4 and 2. Okay, now let's see, we have to make a minimum array. Let's name it as min, and the minimum of first indices will be, means minimum of this only element is this only, because we have to every time copy the minimum of 0 equal to nums of 0, because for this indices the minimum element will be 3 only. Now we consider the case that minimum of these two elements will be minimum 1 comma 3, which is 1, so 1 come here. Now if we consider the minimum of 4 1 and 3, it will come out to be 1. Now if we consider the minimum of 3 1 4 2, which is 1. Now we first check the condition whether, now we have to maintain our stack, and we first check the condition whether the stack is empty or not, and we can see that the stack is empty, so we will simply push the jth element into the stack. So 2 will be pushed into the stack. Now the pointer will be incremented and other condition will not be checked here, so our j pointer will comes to 4, and we'll check the condition whether the stack dot top is greater than minimum of j, and we can see that minimum of j is 1 and it's less than stack dot top, so the first condition is true. Now we check the second condition whether the stack is empty. No, the stack is not empty, and we have to check whether the stack dot top is less than minimum, and the stack dot top is less than nums of j. Yes, the condition here is true, so a pair could be formed as 1 4 2 from this array, and it will return true to our editor. So the output of this example is true. Now let's get through the coding part of the question. So first I said that we'll maintain a vector of minimum which contains the minimum of all the indices. First we'll find the size of the nums n, which is int n, and vector arr, you can name this as array as arr, and arr of 0 will contains the nums of 0, because the first element is the minimum of all the indices as nums of as I have said earlier. Now we consider the case that we have to fill the entries of the array arr. So int I equal to 1, we will start from second indices and we will go through to the last indices I plus plus arr of I. We will check whether we will check from the minimum of arr of I minus 1, means the previous element, and the current minimum and the current nums of I, which one of the element is minimum, and we will make this as the entry of the array. Now we have to make a stack which contains the integer data type elements, and we will name this stack as st, and st dot push, we have to push the last element into the stack so that the stack shouldn't be empty. Nums of n minus 1. Okay, now let's see. Now we will start our condition checking from the second last indices. So I will point to n minus 2, n minus I. We will check while the stack is not equal to stack dot empty. It checks the condition whether the stack is empty or not, and if the stack is empty, then it will and if the stack is not empty, then the condition is true, and it will now check the other condition, which is whether the st dot top, means the top element which is existing in the stack, is greater than, is less than equal to nums of arr of j. If this condition is true, then we have to pop the element from the stack. If this condition fails, means that we have an element in the stack which is greater than the minimum of j, So we will again next we will check the again check the condition that whether the stack is not empty. C dot empty and st dot top is less than the nums of I. If we have found a pair, then we will return true through the editor. Else, if both these conditions is not matched, then we will push the element into the stack. So we will push nums of I. If we haven't found any pair in the array, then we will simply return false at last. Let's run the code. Forgotten the semicolon here. Let's submit it. Thank you friends. If you like this solution useful, then you can like, share and subscribe to my channel, and also please share the solution with your friends so that they could also know about this channel.